came from a very deep and unexpected place, and honestly it was sort of written quite fast in a haze. I had the characters of Edward and Marie, who are this sort of non-sexual couple in an ambiguous relationship, and I was hearing their voices very clearly, but I felt that I knew those people in a sort of Western urban environment, and then I suddenly moved them to an unspecified location in Africa. I had spent 3 months in Africa when I was 19 years old, and a lot of those experiences that I had had there and power dynamics I had seen sort of came crashing back to me and sort of very organically dramatized themselves. Edward and Marie are this couple in this unconventional relationship that is also codependent in one of those unhealthy ways. So she sort of brings the verve. She's a poet, she's eccentric, she has great depths of emotion. He is quite emotionally repressed, but much more financially solvent. They've chosen to build their lives together despite not having a sexual relationship, which is a big question in the play. And he gets the opportunity to go to Africa to set up a not-for-profit art gallery there as some sort of Western salve for what's going on, and she accompanies him. And in the process of living in Africa, it becomes very, I say Africa, obviously it's an entire continent, but the country, Botswana, she becomes overwhelmed essentially by the AIDS crisis that's there, whereas he tries to contain his emotions around it, and in the end it causes an enormous rift between the two of them. First of all, you've got a central female character who is emotionally unstable and yet has tremendous moral authority. And that's a really hard line for an actor to find and for an audience to follow. You know, emotionally volatile women can be very, very frustrating and alienating. Finding an actor who an audience can believe in and relate to and root for, as opposed to feeling they're being lectured by a crazy lady, is actually very hard to do. The other great challenge of the play is that there are unanswered questions in the play. You have a couple who aren't really a couple, and you have a set of moral questions that are both accusatory and never answered. And that makes it a play that asks audiences to deal with the uncomfortability of not knowing. Nest and Living Room in Africa are probably my two most confrontational plays. There's very little comfort in them. They're angry plays. I was an angry young woman.